The 911 caller asked for our help. We immediately scrambled to try to locate this individual, our suspect. Our suspect is Keith Jackson. He's a black male, 30 years of age, with a date of birth of 9/21 of 90. Took the sheriff's office some time to track down the address here in Riverview, which is 6449 Cypressdale Drive, and it's Unit 102 is where this occurred. We immediately began negotiations with our suspect, trying to de-escalate the situation. We were unable to make contact. We activated our SWAT team and our negotiators who got on scene, and as well, they started trying to negotiate, de-escalate the situation. Our suspect refused to answer the telephone, refused to answer his call. While we're trying to make contact with our suspect, we learned that he's actively streaming live on Facebook Live. During this Facebook Live call that he's streaming, he says that he killed his boyfriend. He shot and killed his boyfriend. While he is actually holding the firearm, he's telling the world that's watching that he just shot and killed his boyfriend. He says that he wants to kill himself. He says that he's tried to commit suicide 3 times since this has happened, and that he has failed at all 3 attempts. We don't know what these attempts are at this time. And then immediately starts saying that he wants the sheriff's office to take his life. He wants the sheriff's office to enter his condo and end his life. During this great length of time, as our negotiators are talking to him again, trying to de-escalate him in any way that we can, he says that he wants law enforcement. He's assistant to law enforcement. He's trying to provoke law enforcement to take his life. He gets frustrated with us that we're not going to take his life, end his life, and at that point, just about before 1 p.m. this afternoon, tells our negotiators that you guys aren't going to do this. We're back to square one. I'm going to have to take matters into my own hand. Moments later, we see smoke coming out of the rear of the residence where he had set some type of fire. We activated county fire immediately. They get here within moments. Under the cover of our SWAT team, they take rescue efforts to try to put this fire out and extinguish the fire is exactly what they did. As county fire, or I should say, as after county fire extinguished this fire that was set within inside the residence, we knew that we can confirm that our suspect is now deceased and that the victim that he claimed to kill, his boyfriend, was deceased as well. How our suspect succumbed to life, we don't know at this time. Right now, county fire is venting the condo. We have a search warrant. We will go in. Our homicide unit is on scene. They will go in now and start actively investigating to determine the exact cause of how both these individuals, how their lives were ended here today. I have to thank the men and women here at the Sheriff's Office, our negotiator, our SWAT team. Again, what a phenomenal display of patience and professionalism with dealing with an individual that was irrational and extremely irate. I also have to take a moment to thank County Fire for getting on scene and immediately acknowledging that there was danger there, but they wanted to get the fire extinguished as rapidly as possible. And because they did, there was never anyone else in the apartment complex that was ever in danger due to a fire. So again, I have to thank Chief Dennis Jones and the entire County Fire. What a great job. Again, at this time, our investigators are on scene, and we'll begin putting the pieces of the puzzle together to confirm exactly who our victim is. We have a suspicion that it's his boyfriend. That's who he said he shot and killed. Told his friend that he killed the love of his life, but we can't confirm that right now until we can positively identify that person. Said he shot and killed his boyfriend. Again, can't confirm that either right now because we have to, again, take custody of the body, allow the medical examiner to take a look, and then we'll be able to confirm exactly his cause of death. So a very fluid situation here, but wanted to give you guys the updates that we did have. I will try to answer any questions the best I can. We don't know that at this time, only that he was being vocal and insistent that he killed the love of his life, that he shot and killed his boyfriend, but again, we can't confirm that.
It sounds like there were a lot of unknowns when the fire was set. So can you just, I mean, how do you handle a situation like that where the fire department is having to go into this kind of situation? Where you don't at that point know if this guy's still alive and willing to open fire or something like that?
Yeah, great question. I think that's how we collaborate, and public safety, sheriff's office and county fire, because they didn't hesitate at all. They linked up with our SWAT team who provided that lethal coverage for them to make sure they didn't get hurt. We put them in a position that it would be difficult if the suspect was alive and armed, which we truly believe and feel that he was, that it would be a low risk of those individuals from the strategic point where they were putting out and extinguishing the fire. But again, as much as you mitigate that, there was still danger there for the fire department, and they didn't hesitate. They didn't hesitate from the moment they hooked up the water. They went and extinguished that fire because they wanted to make sure that no one else's life was in danger. And I can say proudly, no one else's condo, as they're attached together, has sustained any damage as a result of their quick actions.
This is the second situation like this in 2 days for the sheriff's office. I guess number one, how does this speak to the dangers that you all deal with every day? And number two, were deputies even on a little bit of a little edge here, given what happened yesterday, getting fired at?
I think our community's on edge. This community's become too violent, and I think it's incumbent, a fiduciary responsibility for all of us that live in this community, that are proud to call this our home, that have children that live here, that we say enough is enough to this violence. And I don't know what it's going to take, who it's going to take to be killed for us to finally say enough. And as a society, as our community, we're not going to tolerate any additional violence. Because I tell you what, I'm tired of notifying individuals that their family member is deceased. I'm tired of talking to deputies like the one yesterday who is extremely shaken up because this individual shot at him and luckily missed him by inches and shot the car instead. So you can imagine what's gone through everyone's head at this time. And I think it's just, we're past that breaking point, not as a law enforcement agency, but as a community, to say the violence needs to stop, and it needs to stop right now. Thank you.